Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you're feeling good wherever you are. It's the Mary Moo Show. And this show, I'm here with you. And we're going to be having a conversation one-on-one. If you've been listening to me for a while, every now and then I'll have like guests come on. But then every now and then I'll sort of host the whole show and we'll have a topic of discussion and we'll just listen to music and have a chat. So this is one of them. And I really like these kind of ones. So it's just like you and I having a conversation. And I've got a topic today to discuss that's really meant something to me. And I hope you leave feeling encouraged, you leave feeling soothed, you leave feeling good. Okay, so we like to kick things off with some music. We'll do so, and then we'll come right back because we need to have a chat about a couple of things. There's some things to talk about. Okay, so what are we listening to today? Oh, by the way, I did say my name's Mary, didn't I? I did, yes. I'm here every single Thursday on Ruach Radio from 7 to 8 p.m. GMT. But you probably are listening to me on YouTube because I do upload the shows to YouTube after it's been aired, a couple of days after, it's always there. So wherever you're listening to me from, welcome. And I have a good feeling you're going to enjoy this episode or this show. So let's get straight into music. Let's go back to music. So what was I saying? Oh, there's some stunning tracks today, some tracks that I just love, and I know you're going to love too. If you don't know them, just stick around. Listen to the music. It's going to be worth it. But these ones I love, absolutely love. So what are we going to start off with? It's funny, I just said as an expression, but her name is Aja, and the song is called Can't Get Enough. And I can't get off the track myself. It's a wonderful, amazing track. But then next we'll go into another stunning track that I listened to this one over and over and over and over again. And I was like, actually, we have to do the show. We've got to do this show. We'll listen to it on the show. Let's get on with the show. But it's a stunning track because of what it's about. And everything sort of really that feeds in nicely to what we're going to be discussing. So we'll start off with a jar, Can't Get Enough. And then we'll go to Omojo. And she's featured on this track called Mine. She's featured Praise, Lubangu, and Lamb Culture. So if you know anything about Lamb Culture, they like to do these kind of really heartfelt, warm, stunning tracks. So let's kick things off with a jar, Can't Get Enough, and then on to Omojo and Mine. This is a jar, Can't Get Enough.
I'm freaking out about the way you love me, even when I do you wrong. I know that you're always thinking of me. Gotta put it in a song. Your love is perfect, I have nothing to fear. You give me security, yeah. You're so loyal that I never have to wonder. You give me all that I need. I can't get enough of your love. 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 Nothing seems to captivate me quite like you do. You can have my full devotion. I'm committed to you. You're the mystery revealed, undoubted. Feels so good, I have to sing about it. I'm so happy that you hold me close. I don't ever wanna let you go. I can't go a day without your love. I won't give up on it, 'cause I need a touch from you.
The Mary Moo Show on Ruach Radio.
I'll spread my wings, fly away, while there's waves pulling me. But I hope that it's views for the night. Fade away, 'cause the storm can't stand my way. You and I would see another day. Broke the chains, set me free, took them shackles off my feet. I don't know why you did it, but I'm free. Took the chains, set me free, took them shackles off my feet. I don't know why you did it, but I'm free. You set my heart on fire, you're my desire. I'm running through your arms that is safer than mine. You're my desire, you set my heart on fire. I'm running through your arms that is safer than mine. I spread my wings, fly away, all this weight's pulling me. But I know I'll find peace for the night. You don't leave me when it gets tough. You hold me close when the waves get rough. And so I will rest in you. Let the chains set me free, took them shackles off my feet. I don't know why I did it, but I'm free. Took the chains, set me free, took them shackles off my feet. I don't know why you did it, but I'm free. You set my heart on fire, you are my desire. I'm running to your arms that is safer than mine. You are my desire, you set my heart on fire. I'm running to your arms that is safer than mine. Refuge in the night, stronghold in the fight. Draw me toward the light, draw me toward the light. My refuge in the night, stronghold in the fight. Draw me toward the light, draw me toward the light.
Welcome back, everybody. That was the Jar Can't Get Enough and the stunning track by Omojo and featuring Praise Lubangu and Lamb Culture with Mine. As I was saying before we listened to the music, I listened to that track over and over again till I had to let it just turn off. Like, we've got to run the show. But it's a beautiful track. I just love both of them. Okay, so let's get into it. Before we have a conversation that I want to talk about, there are some events that I think is worth you knowing, because this weekend is just jam-packed with events, with amazing events that I've been looking forward to. I'm sure you probably have as well. So let's talk about them. The first one is, actually, if you're in Birmingham, and you are going to be staying in that locality, New Covenant Ministries, NCM, are hosting a worship night. So it is essentially 8 hours of pure worship. It starts at 11 p.m. this Friday, the 26th of January. So that's tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to it because I'm going to be one of the lead worship leaders on the show, on the actual event. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really, really good. Anything to do with praise, I'm like, oh, I'm there anyway. So it's nice to actually be part of this. So if you're going to be around at NCM or in Birmingham, on the 26th, be there. It starts at 11 p.m. and goes on to 7 a.m. and it's Friday, 20th of January, as I said. It's the Mount Zion Community Centre. I'm sure this is that's a location they've used many times before. But if you want more information, just get onto NCM Ministries on Instagram or the social channels and find some more information. It is a free event, and there's other worship leaders on the night, and it's just all about worship and ministration. So that's going to be live. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So that's event one. Also taking place on Friday is the start of the Wide Open Worship event. Now, I went to the one last year, and it was phenomenal. If you went to the event last year, I'm sure you would agree with me. It was incredible. Do you remember that moment with Dunstan and the whole, how it was, meant to just having a brief conversation, and the whole place erupted in praise and prayers, and it was just so powerful. The whole event was something so special. And I like it because it was open to everybody. So, the body of Christ who were there, the creatives and the leaders and stuff were there. The church that I used to go to was present. It was just an amazing event. So when it was announced again for this year, one that, strive to be part of. If you like worship, you're a creative, you're going to get some teaching, you're going to be encouraged. It's wonderful. And it's kicking off at Kilburn. The Friday is going to be the Cherubim Bunch. And that's talking about cherubims and stuff. If you're on Instagram, there is a account there. It's called The Bible Official, and they do sort of artificial intelligence sort of illustrations of what things actually are, as close to what it says in the Bible. So I'm not saying it's exactly how it is, but it's close to it as possible. So they'll do like what people think angels look like and what they actually look like, that kind of thing, and what this looked like and what John actually saw in Revelations and stuff like that. And they're so clever, aren't they? They're so good because it's more truth-based than what the whole Disney sort of cartoony, fluffy thingies that they put there. I digress. I mentioned that because did one on cherubims, and you should see how they actually look like. And I put a comment on there that went a bit kind of... I had the most likes I've ever had in my life. But so when they say cherubim brunch, all I can think of is the actual cherubims, how they look like in the heavenlies. I'm thinking, Juanita, do you really want these cherubims there with you? Having brunch and all these cherubims are surrounding the way they actually look like. That's just really funny to me. That's why I'm laughing at this whole cherubim brunch thing. Anyway, it starts off that at 12 o'clock. In the afternoon on the Friday, if you're about. And she's got a great lineup from Naomi Rain, Stefan Brown, Dr. Oscar Gabardia, Steve Tebb, lots of people. Sonia, Elder Sonia Hogg's going to be there. So I think in the evening, Singo Barron is a bit of teaching from the special guest, Naomi Rain. And then on Saturday is the main kickoff of from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way through to the evening, with different slots that you can do to learn about different things. And like I said, it was incredible last time. So if you are in London or you can get there, do what you can to be there. Just be there. It's pitch your tent. It's going to be amazing. Tickets are still on sale. So get down there when you can. Also taking place on Saturday. I told you it's quite a few events. Also taking place on Saturday. If you're not going to be going to the wide open event, wide open worship, you can go to I Am That Woman, Night of Freedom, with Simone Olagoke. And again, like I said, I've been to these her events before, and they're just so wholesome. You learn something that, she's really structured them that you do gain something. You leave feeling, actually, I've learned something. And again, which obviously helps to all this feeling free and being able to do something with your life and feeling that you can, and you're encouraged. It's a great sort of sisterly, wholesome vibe. And she looks like she's got some great people on there as well, speaking and really encouraging us. So again, tickets, go online for the tickets. You can go directly on the website to book your tickets. But like I said, this weekend is kicking off Friday night. It's going to be really, really good. So find yourself in one of those places. Yeah? Find one of the places. Okay, let's get into discussion. But before we do, let's listen to some more music and then we'll come back. And let's break things up a bit so we can kind of start fresh. And again, with some more stunning tracks, isn't it? Why not? Let's kick things off with Evan and Iris, Be Alright, featuring Stephen Malcolm. And then another stunning track, Austin, Tay Kept. I love that one. You're going to love it. You really are going to love Kept. So let's start things off with Evan and Iris, Be Alright. And I'll see you after these.
All I see is blessings, got no time for stressing. Don't believe in failures in my life, it's only lessons. They just making room for what I'm on now. I don't got a clue, but I know the one who does know how. Oh wow, it's like I'm learning the game with the maker I already know now. Destiny has my name, know it's coming, it'll never go. I know that we all gonna be alright. We gon' make it through if it takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way. Our way, our way. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way.
I can't say that life's been perfect or complain, cause life's been worth it. And all because of who he is working, only working out for my God. And no more living in that fear, no more tears and no, no.
takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way, yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way, our way, our way. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way.
I can see the blessings, I can feel your presence, leaning on the change in my heart for your endeavors. I pray I'm your reflection, I fiend for your correction. The cross brought the connection, and through Jesus is perfection. Life done hit me crazy, been more stressed than ever, living like whatever. Through the rain I feel you drawing closer. Lord, make me better, take me, shape me, use me, I am yours. Take me, break me for the glory of the Lord. Okay, not only does he hold me when I'm down and feel I'm folding, he my coach when I'm the goalie, never lonely. Got that hope in he who holy, holy, holy. Keep that rugged cross all on me, need that spirit to control me. Seek that word to come and mold me, yeah, yeah. It's like I can feel the blessings coming my way, yeah. It's like I can feel the blessings coming my way.
I know that we all gonna be alright. We gon' make it through if it takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way, our way, our way. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way, yeah.
The Mary Moo Show on Ruach Radio.
Cash me out,
Since you first loved me, my heart sings glory to the King. Like ooh, I was taken back, pushed to the limits, but it put me in my bag. And now I know that what you want won't lie. Trying to hold me, feel like I'm under attack, yeah. But then you set me free. It's easy for me to see that you only want me. I feel you pulling, no matter how far I go. I feel you pulling me back. Can't stray too far. I hear you calling me right back. Can't outrun your grace. I feel you pulling me back. Lord, I'm yours. I'm yours, Lord. I am special. I am chosen. I can be more than I could imagine. Cause I know whose I am, and I know where I'm going, and I know who's keeping me. He's keeping me. He's keeping me. He's keeping me. Keep me a little longer, hold me a little tighter. Don't you let me go, don't you let me go. Make me a little stronger, make me a little wiser. You're always in control, you're the keeper of my soul. No matter how far I go, I feel you pulling me back. Can't stray too far, I hear you calling me back. Pulling me back, Lord, I'm yours. I'm yours, Lord. I am special. I am chosen. I can be more than I could imagine. Cause I know whose I am, and I know where I'm going, and I know who's keeping me. He's keeping me. Keep me a little longer, hold me a little tighter.
back, everybody. That was Evan and Iris Be Alright, featuring Stephen Malcolm. And we're listening to the beautiful track Austin Tay kept. Isn't that a wonderful track? I told you you're going to love it. I told you you would. Okay, let's get this discussing, because actually we've got something that, like I said, is really, really close to my heart, that I really feel like this is time to talk about it now. And how do I start this? Where do we start from? Now, I went to an event. Like I always do, I went to an event. But this was a good one. It was strictly about prayer. And you're there to pray. There's no kind of being all... It was stripped down, stripped to the bare minimum. You're there to pray. Solid hours of praying, like 24 hours or 72 hours of pure praying. And there was some teaching going on with that event as well, which was about faith. And was learning about faith, what faith is. It's nice to learn about faith. If you don't know, it's an amazing topic to study. Not just to know, but to study it and study what faith can actually do. And also how utilizing faith can really bring about answers to prayers and really bring about the impossible made possible. And really sort of it deepened my knowledge of faith, understanding what it means, the word trusting God, trusting God to do the impossible, trusting his nature, trusting who he says he is, trusting what he says he will do to move into our lives, and looking, breaking that word down even further to what I've talked about many times on this show or channel before about, M&R, that whole, how like a descriptive of how like a baby trusts its mother to feed the baby, to care for the baby without even thinking. That's that sort of dependent trust on God's abilities. Batak, that belief in who he is, belief in his ability, and knowing that combining those together, that belief and trust in God can really move mountains, as Jesus says time and time again throughout the Gospels. So back to this event that I was at in London. I was there praying and learning about faith and realizing that sometimes the reason why there is no answers to some prayers and things is because our faith isn't at the capacity of what it can take to bring about that miracle. So at that stage, obviously it has a nice ending, but at that stage I kind of flipped back to many times in my life, people have come across me personally, where you've been travailing and waiting on God and believing in God as we think for God to do something. And sometimes when you think, or we believe we have faith that God's going to do something, the truth of the matter is sometimes we don't have 100% success rate in the things we pray for. I don't know about you. If you have, thank God for your life. But me personally, sometimes you can pray for things and be like, oh God, I believe this is aligned with your word. You tick all the dots. You're like, right, I've aligned. Yes, the Bible says to do this. I've done that. I've aligned myself. I've prayed and fasted. I've done this because, sometimes, when Jesus did tell the disciples in Book of Mark with the story about the man who brought his child who had been vexed, demonized from a kid, Jesus did tell disciples, this kind comes out not except by prayer and fasting. So, you look at all the things that people tell us to do. Prayer and fasting, you can check, I did that. This time I'm properly praying and fasting, not just food fasting. Okay, I've done that. I'm believing. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I've gone away. I've shut myself the door. No one's here. I've prayed. I've woke up in the morning. 3:00. I've commanded the day. I've gone here. I've gone that. You think you're doing all these things. Tick away. But yet the success rate is still like how the disciples brought the child to Jesus. Says, look, we tried and nothing's working. Or you look and actually you're told that actually no, you didn't get the job. Or no, actually that didn't work. The sickness and the pain is still there. You're still limping. You're still going around with this problem. But the person you thought you prayed for, don't worry, God will do something. Sometimes some of them can actually pass away. And things can actually happen that actually makes you think, what now? What have I, what could I have done? I'm sure I've done everything that I said. And then you pick yourself up again and you try again. And sometimes you're travailing again. It's the same thing. And sometimes you can be praying and waiting God for something for many years. So I'm not talking about people who have a hissy fit that God doesn't answer the one prayer that they've prayed. I'm talking about sometimes some people are actually really the effectual fervent prayer, trying, pushing God for answers. Do this. God, help, deliver my son, help my son, save that person, do this. I'm believing, I'm praying. You're doing all these things. I don't know about you. But as you're listening to me, whoever you are, I would think about it. Have you ever had this kind of scenario where you've wondered, like, what now? Like, what now? And then you can go as far as saying, right, okay, I understand, God, what you says about increasing our faith. How does faith come? How do I get faith? Okay, faith comes by hearing the word of God, hearing the rhema of God, hearing God speak alive, not just in his word. Why is that important? Because it's enough to change things. Look at the lives of Abraham. Abraham heard God tell him, leave your family and go to a place where I'm telling you to go. He every step of the way, every step of his journey was built on hearing from God. It builds that relationship where you can actually trust him, like I've been talking about. But let's say, for example, you're doing that. You're here. You can say, yes, I'm sure I heard from God. I know what I'm doing. I'm building my faith. I'm reading, spending time in your word. But God, yet I still feel like I'm travailing. I still feel like I'm pushing and that I am not getting the answers. I'm not getting there yet. Something is happening. Something isn't happening. That's what I mean. What's happening here? I remember I had I still have a friend. This friend, she actually mentioned to me one time. She said she was actually upset. She said, well, I do all these things for God. Like, forget, I know it didn't happen, but I do all these things for God. And she started reeling a list of all the things that she believes that she does for God. Like, I do all these things. I go out there and evangelize. I speak out on my page. I do all this thing. God, I evangelize. If I've said that, I give this to people. I'm always giving things to people. And I'm asking for one tiny thing and he can't do that for me. She was clearly hurt. And I remember when she said that, I kind of stood back and I thought, I actually don't even know what to say to her. I kind of let her vent. Sometimes you have to let people just kind of get it all out. And then actually you go back yourself and ask God, what's happening here? Why, what's happening here? What do I say? Like, what actually do I say with this? And one of the first things God actually told me, and what God actually let me to know, then I'm going to scale right back down after to what happened when I asked the question at that event. So at this particular situation where this friend of mine was reading all the stuff and giving an itinerary of all the things that she'd done, the fasting and the long hours, I realized that actually, Mary, God was like, you've done things like, or thought that before. You might have said it out loud, but you've thought that. You've thought, hold on a second. God, I took time off work and I spent days locked in, this many days fasting and that and do this. And what's happening here? Why can't I have a breakthrough here in this area, a particular area? Also, actually, you're the same, number one. But number two, this whole, where does it say scripturally that you do all these things for me, then I do this for you? If not, then it will be about works. It will be about works, So that means works are going to matter. That means that God's only going to answer prayers of the people who have done thousands of things for him, that they can weigh it all up. This is all what I've done. That's not biblical. That's got nothing to do, but there's nothing biblical that says, go and do all these things for me and then come back and then I'll tell you what I can do for you. So we cannot have that kind of a mindset that is a transactional relationship with God. That I do this for you, you do this for me. When he doesn't want a transactional situation. He wants a pure relationship with him. Father to son, friend to friend. He's always talked about that from the beginning. Nothing is transactional. And to be fair, who likes a transactional friend anyway? Some people just get things off you, or they're doing things with the mindset of what they're going to get back. God doesn't want his hand in that at all. And then God started to remind me, actually, maybe sometimes, I have answered many prayers. They probably don't see these as answered prayers, but I've done those things based on your faith. I thought, actually, yeah, God is true. I looked at him, I think you've done all these kind of things. And God's like, actually, some extraordinary things as well that people are going to be like, are wowed about. So yes, you can't say God never answers. Don't start with God never answers my prayers. And God never does that. What's it boiling down to? Is boiling down to a particular thing that you think this is really testing me. Why, God, why didn't you answer this? God, why can't you answer this? What is happening here? And I do think though, and I do believe that there is need for proper teaching on that, because it can, if you don't get the right teaching, you can land yourselves in a lot of issues and problems. Like, for example, and I'm just going back to it, but as I was watching the TB Joshua documentary, and the ladies that left from the United Kingdom to go back to Nigeria to see what was going on, they were enticed or pulled, yes, on fake miracles, but there was a need inside of them that wasn't answered. So one of them was saying that their parents were going to church and they'd prayed for their mum to be healed, but she died of breast cancer. What is going on here? What am I doing? What not doing right? What do I need to do? And the genuine need or question or whatever you want to call it drove her to be abused. Drove her to the wrong place. That's why I think it's very essential that we get this understanding right on what faith is. Because sometimes we are going to have to fast and pray for things. Sometimes we are going to have to wait on God. Wait till we hear what God has to say about things. Sometimes we do have to learn how to resolve things ourselves. And we do also need to understand when we go to an elder and say, please help me pray. What is God saying? Go to a trusted source that's around us. But if you don't have access to the powerful minister, the most the highest prophetess, and what we have, God, we have our Bible, we have that relationship with direct access to the Father, the same access they have. We still have the same access. And it took me on a journey myself of learning that myself. Learning to be able to strip down to the basics. That's why I went to that prayer event in the beginning, because some events can be very glamorous and yes, let's pray wristbands and music and prizes and stuff. But sometimes you're going to have to be able to get on your knees and pray this thing out. Get on your knees and wait on the Lord till you hear from him for yourself. You're going to have to learn that, because you're going to have to teach that to new converts, people who come to know God. We can't all be sending everyone to pastor A, B, C, D, and E. We have to learn the basics where we are at, and then underneath the church gathering, then we can go to where we need to go to and let God confirm his word. But there has to be a time when stripped bare on and when I say stripped, I'm talking about without the fluff and the fanciness of it all. Bare basics praying, bare basics reading and studying the word of God for ourselves. God, what is happening here? Why isn't this happening? What it is? And God will answer, like he told the disciples in Mark chapter 9, which we're going to read. We said, this kind, you need prayer and fasting for this one. You need to understand this, what you're dealing with. I was also told when I was praying for somebody to be saved, and God, you have to save them and deliver them now. You have to, God, you have to. I remember my dad actually called me and said, look, Mary, your job is to pray and to leave it in the hands of God. And for people who are sick and that you pray. But don't start acting like as if you care more than God. Don't start acting like, oh God, as if, God, do what I say. Almost like, don't you know, like as if God doesn't know anything, as if God doesn't feel, doesn't see or understand. Like you can never, like we can never love somebody more than God does. We can never want somebody more saved than God does. You take it to him in prayer and be patient, because a lot of the time I was finding that I wasn't patient. I wasn't patient with things. I wasn't patient with when God wanted to do things and when and how he would do it. Sometimes it's patience. Sometimes it's learning what faith actually is. Sometimes it is patience. Sometimes it is taking time out to go and pray and do all these kind of things. But in some of these circumstances and situations, patience or lack of it was something. So there I am. Let's go back to this event now. In this event, and we're learning about faith, and we're learning about things. And I asked the question, and I said, some of the most incredible miracles of my life that God answered, I knew that I didn't actually have the faith level for it. So I don't understand where I didn't have the faith level high. In fact, I didn't have no faith, and God answered some of the most biggest miracles in my life. Whereas when I actually do think, right, I'm going to have faith to pray for this, it doesn't work, or I'm still waiting, or I need help, I need to get people together to pray. What's actually happening here? I don't know about you, if you've ever experienced that. You feel like, hang on a minute, when I reflect on my life, some of the most incredible miracles I've talked about incredible miracles, life-changing miracles of my life. I don't remember having high faith. Some I do, but the ones to me that stand out the most, the ones to me that shook me to the core, was I didn't really have much faith. And again, I look back at times when I thought, yeah, I've had faith, yeah, I've prayed, but yeah, I've done that. And God said, it's because you made it all about you. You've prayed, you've fasted, you've done all this. Now, God, do like I've done. Again, it's that whole kind of thing. Like, look what I've done, God. Now you move. And it's not with that same mindset. God doesn't want that. But that's the question I asked. That's the question I asked. I said, why is it that some of the things in my life, the most amazing miracles that I've had, why is it that those got answered, yet I knew, and I know for a fact, I didn't even have the faith. I don't even know if I even prayed. I think I just went, God help me with this. If I did, what happened? We'll listen to some couple of tracks and then we'll come back and I'll tell you exactly what the answer was then. So let's move down to Jordan May, Amazing Grace. And then the drill mix of Mercies, which is Mercies are new every morning. So Mercies. So let's kick things off to Jordan May, Amazing Grace. This is Amazing Grace.
I know you're feeling unworthy. Tell me where you've been hurting. Hey, speeding like 130. I look around and see the worry. Tell me why you in a hurry. Hey, gotta bounce back, gotta let it breathe. Tryna hear what you're telling me. Your word like a melody. My head. Step back, gotta let it breathe. Gotta hear what you're telling me. Your word like a melody. Yeah, I've seen hearts turn cold, blood on the road, and the enemy come for my soul. One don't mean no favors, but your grace was greater. I've seen hearts turn cold, blood on the road, and the enemy come for my soul. One don't mean no favors. It's only by your grace. Tryna hide from God in the streets, it's hard to believe it. I've seen the same thing happen to God in the Eden. So many nights I cried and called a redeemer, but when you living in sin, it's hard to receive her. I know the trash still jumping like Jordan, but God been working way harder. Know the hood still cooking like Harden, but God still working. Bounce back, gotta let it breathe. Tryna hear what you're telling me. Your word like a melody. My head. Step back, gotta let it breathe. Gotta hear what you're telling me. Your word like a melody. Yeah, I've seen hearts turn cold, blood on the road, and the enemy come for my soul. One don't mean no favors, but your grace was greater. I've seen hearts turn cold, blood on the road, and the enemy come for my soul. One don't mean no favors. I've seen hearts turn cold, blood on the road, and the enemy come for my soul. One don't mean no favors, but your grace was greater. I've seen hearts turn cold, blood on the road, and the enemy come for my soul. One don't mean no favors. It's only by your grace.
The Mary Moo Show on Ruach Radio.
Brokenness and wandering through all my fear and unbelief. Your faithfulness appears to me again. Through mountain top and valley low, in every season this I know. Your goodness like the dawn will break again. All your mercies rising in this heart again, and my soul begins to sing. They are new every morning, new every morning. Praise your faithfulness. Your mercies are new every morning. They Great is your faithfulness. God, your people say, great is your faithfulness. Jesus, great is your faithfulness.
Welcome back, everybody. That was Jordan May with Amazing Grace and the drill, Next Mercies. Yes, so this is the Mary Moo Show. My name is Mary Moo, and I'm here every single Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. And we have been talking about an event I went to, as I always like to go to events, and talking about essentially, why does God answer prayers when we don't believe, or for those who even don't believe? And I was talking earlier about going to an event and asking a question that, why is it? Because the topic was about faith and was there to pray, back to the basics. Pray. You pray and pray and pray for hours and hours. Just pray, and you pray through. It was an incredible event, by the way. Prayer always is when you're talking to God, in that kind of stripped back mentality. But I asked a question, like, why is it that when one of the most amazing miracles in my life, I don't even think I had faith for it. I can't actually stand here and say, yes, I had the faith of bigger than a mustard seed for this is what. No. In fact, it shook me so much that it actually worked, that I actually got the answers. I don't know why. Yet, when I think I have the faith for something, I'm still here travailing. Still here in the trenches, travailing. Like, what's going on here? What is going on here? So I said, when I come back, I'm going to tell you exactly what I was told. And so I stood there waiting for the Greek and the scriptures and the this and the that to explain what had happened. And the pastor, he was hosting this event, he said, this was at a Destiny International event. He said, so this was Pastor Prayer over there. He said, it was God's mercies. And immediately, I thought, that's true. I just knew in my spirit that it really was God's mercies that did it for me then. Then I think I just couldn't believe. I thought, so I know we sing it like we just heard and sung. I know we sing about God's mercies. I know we do, but I know what it is. I know what it is, but I was a recipient of it. I think I only linked mercies to, how God saves and stuff like that. And I know God answers prayers for his mercy, but I didn't think I was a recipient of it for whatever reason. I just didn't think I was a recipient of any miracle based on God's mercies. I was like, God, and that took me into a different place and space of prayer, because I thought, wow, God, your mercy's in it, because I didn't have any faith. I didn't. And when I testify about it, it shook me for ages. It still does. And I didn't have any faith, but you definitely get all the glory. There is no way in this I can blame it on my faith or say it's because of X. I did this, I did that. No, it's your mercies. And it reminded me of the story in Mark chapter 9, verse 22 that I've been alluding to. And talking about, how the father brought his son who had been demonized, or whatever medical term you want to use, but demonized actually, from a young child. And he brought his child to the disciples and they couldn't do anything about it. And the man cries out, look, have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. And then, Jesus turns to his disciples and says, look, Jesus turns to him and says, oh, if I can do anything. Everything is possible for them who believes. And the man says something. He says, I do believe, help my unbelief. He was like, what we would say, like, I do believe, but help my unbelief. He said, I do believe, but he knew there was that whole line of what he said. It resonates so much with me. Like, God, I do believe, but help my unbelief. Help me with this. I'm talking about issues when you really want God to do something. If this father had been looking after his son from a child, dealing with this demonic situation, that's not difficult. That is difficult. That will be difficult for a parent to be dealing with something like that. That's not easy. You can probably understand why he was like, I do believe you can do it, but please help my unbelief. Just help me. How challenging that situation would be. So he clearly said, look, help my unbelief. And obviously Jesus addresses unbelief in this generation and then talks to his disciples about it after. But the thing is, Jesus actually did still heal the boy. He healed the boy. He healed the boy. Even when the demon came out, everyone thought he was dead. Jesus was like, no, they held his hand and picked him up. This is from Mark chapter 9, from 20 onwards. You can read that story. He still healed the boy. He healed him. God's mercies, they are new every single morning. And so what I want to do with this and encourage people is, sometimes when you're there, you think, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. Put all that, what you've done, aside for 1 minute. Put it on aside. Some of you, God will take you on a journey where you do have to build your faith, because he wants to do a miracle thing through you. Because he loves to do things through us. That's why I told us, you go and heal the sick and go and do this. He loves to work through us. And he wants to also strengthen us, strengthen our faith, build our faith. He wants us to do that. He wants us to build our faith and grow in God. Grow till we can be confident when we pray for people. Like, yeah, I know God can do this. He wants to also deal with all the things inside of us, that the wrong mindsets that we have, like I've described, like I've done this, or God, why won't you do this? And even unbelief. He wants to deal with all of that. He really does. He wants us to come to a place where we have complete trust in him, complete unwavered trust in who God is. But I do believe God wants us to also make room for his mercies. The mercies that are new every morning. It's not just, forbearing something bad happening to us. It's like, oh, I'll step in the way and you won't have to have that. You don't have to go through that because I'm there. His mercies can extend to working miracles. His mercies can extend to looking at what we're going through and be like, I've done this not because of our faith level, not because of, it's not anything to do with us, just everything to do with him and his mercies. And so I guess I want to encourage somebody out there who's been like, life is a bit challenging and you might wonder like what to do next. There can be situations like that where you're really travailing. You're really like, God, I need you to help in this situation. I don't know what to do myself. You've got all the books. You've read the books. You've stayed quietly in the room. You've done everything. And yes, actually, like I said, the patience is something, because I do believe God really speaks and he would always confirm it. And most of the times, sometimes God does want us to be patient. Like I remember a friend of mine who, was looking up to God for a child for many years. And I remember when we were praying one time together, the way she cried, it literally broke my heart. I was like, I said, God, I don't know how you can see this. And just almost like, it's quite rude, almost like, God, how can you see this and just sort of sit there? Like, how can you not do anything? How can you see this? This is too much for even me to deal with. How can you not do anything about this? This person is crying out to you like there's no tomorrow. God didn't answer that prayer that year. I don't even think even the second year or the third year. But God did answer the year that he chose, that he said he would. And I asked my friend, I said, because I had to go back to her. Because remember when she told me that she was pregnant, I cried and cried because I couldn't believe it. Because it was so... She'd been trying for many years, like many, many, many years. So this isn't something that's, again, people who've crying after a day. Not saying your day pain ain't worth it. But I'm talking about people who've been in the trenches, travailing. I'm talking about hard issues, hardcore, serious issues. I'm talking about them ones, them ones there. We cried. I couldn't believe it. And then I asked her a question. I said, wait a minute. People have told me that when God actually does something for them that they're waiting a long time for, the time is always the right time. Is always, and I didn't even finish my sentence. But yep. This is the best time for it. Yep. I said, are you sure about that? Because you think, how can people say it? How can people say God's time is the right time? And I know God's time is the right time. I'm not saying God's time isn't. I'm talking about situations when you need the miracle there, then and now. And you're like, so why God would you take 5 years? Why? But then the funny thing is, all those people who I ask who've waited the 5 years, the 10 years, whatever it is, they always say this is the right time. That it was amazing that, I thought but this is the best time. But I'm really? People can be looking at them saying, are you sure about that? Like, really? I remember one of my friends was looking for a child, and she ended up having twins at an age that people might say that's too late. But she was like, this is the best time. Like, the best time. Like, people who had one 5, 6, 8 years ago and were like, you need to start now. She ended up having more kids than them and just having a great setup. It seemed right. She had progressed, they'd traveled. She'd amassed enough sort of, her family had grown financially. She was able to, spend 1 year living in Japan here and just having a fantastic time. And everybody says that it's the right time. God's time is the right time. So for some people, I will encourage you that there is patience. I've asked these hard questions. You know me. I like to have chats sometimes. So I'd ask people, is this really true? Do you really, really feel this? And they all said it's true. And for some people, yes, you might have to go and fast and pray and wait and be patient and hear from God properly for yourself and really understand what it means to hear from God. Because some people are out here saying God said something when he didn't. Really fine tune your ears, really get the right confirmations, really not be scared to ask because you're scared he will say no or you think he will say no, whatever it is. Get that out of the way. But once you've done all of that and you say, I can't do anything else, I don't know what it is, make room for his mercies. Make room for his mercies. Take the pressure off you. He said, cast all your burdens onto me. He said, cast your burdens onto me because he cares. And I do believe there is time to let God's mercies work in your favor. Because he really does care. He really does care. That's Psalms 55 verse 22 also says it. Cast your burdens onto the Lord. He will sustain thee. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. And he really does encourage us to cast our burdens. There's still these songs that say that, but they actually mean something. And on the cross, he really talked about, taking on our burdens. But please make room for God's mercies. And believe you me, the most extreme miracles of my life that breaks me down every time to tears is now I know that it was because of his mercies. And maybe he might just want to do that for you. So maybe stop trying and say, God, in your mercy, answer me. Like that guy, just have mercy on me. Have mercy and watch him do miraculous things in your life. Now, that's the end of the show. That's it. We're wrapping up. And I kind of want to leave. I listened to this track. It's quite a long one, so it will fade out. And I don't know, I would like you to listen to this and really think about what you want God to do, where you need God's mercy. It might not be for you, it might be for somebody else. Or think about a time when God, like I did, this whole week I've been thinking about it, when God did things because of his mercy. I'm thinking, wow, God, I didn't have any faith. I'm putting my hands, I didn't believe, I didn't. I'm sorry about that, but God, you did this in your mercy. But I think those miracles are so much more, they're the best because you just know it had nothing to do with you and it was all him. And maybe that's where he wants us to get to that place. I don't know. But that's the answer to it. He really does and intervenes in these situations because he wants to say, honey, step to the side. Let me show you why. Why I'm God. So I hope you enjoy this track. It's called Mercy. And again, like I said, it's a stunning track. And it features a roster of people, Moses Bliss, and I'm going to say her name wrong, but let me try. So it's Moses Bliss featuring some Misola, and I'm not going to say her surname because I don't want to ruin it and sort of destroy this whole moment, but it's by Moses Bliss featuring some fantastic prophetic worship singers, and it's called Mercy. So have a listen to it. Think about what God's done for you based on his mercy, and I will see you on the next show. Toodles.
It's all because of you. It's all because of your grace that I'm still standing here right now. It's all because of you. It's all because of your love that I'm still standing. I could have missed my way, I could have fallen on the wayside, but you are always there to help me. I could have missed my way, I could have fallen on the wayside, but you always help me. Lord, I'm amazed by how you've shown me mercy. Chinekemo, thank you for your mercy. Lord, I'm amazed by how you've shown me mercy. Chinekemo, thank you for your mercy.
It's all because of you. It's all because of your grace that I'm still standing here right now. It's all because of you. It's all because of your love that I'm still standing. I could have missed my way, I could have fallen on the wayside, but you're always there to help me. I could have missed my way, I could have missed it on the roadside, but you always help me.
Lord, I'm amazed by how you showed me mercy. Chinekemo, thank you for your mercy. Lord, I'm amazed by how you showed me mercy. Chinekemo, thank you for your mercy. Lift your voice, sing. It's all because of you. It's all because of you. Yes. It's all because of your grace.
Still standing.
That I'm still standing.
Oh, because of
It's
you.
all because of you.
It's all because
It's all because of your love
that I'm still.
that I'm still standing. I could have missed my way,